Eyes drop, they will get the top of you. Boom, 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 moving up and down again. There's no discharge in the wall.
That was a clip from 28 years later. Joining us now to talk more about the movies of the week, our film critic, Richard Crouse. Richard, how are you, sir? It's one of those mornings. I'm good. I was just thinking about that. Usually the third movie in one of these groups is, but this one you like.
I did like this one. It's been 23 years since 28 Days Later opened, and really kind of became a new kind of zombie film. It's about the rage virus that has infected many people in the UK. Then there was 28 months later. Now we pick up the story with 28 years later. It's been 28 years later since the virus first made itself known, and people are living in little islands and communities that are isolated from the areas taken over by these rage virus infected zombies, but occasionally they have to travel to the mainland for foraging, for supplies, and just to get a lay of the land and see what is going on, and should they have to come up with more ways to protect themselves. So the story here is about a 12-year-old named Spike who takes his first trip to the mainland with his father, and he learns about the horrible truth about what has happened to the rest of the world. He's lived in a very isolated community his entire life. Second trip is for a very different reason, and he takes that trip with his mother. And the thing that makes this movie different than the other films, which were, I would say, the first one a straight up horror film, the second one was more of an action film, this one is more reflective in its tone. It is about this 12-year-old boy and his the way that he learns about loss and grief, the way that he has to come to understand that to survive, he's going to have to do some terrible things. And so this one, I would say, it is as emotionally intense as it is intellectually intense. There are some very, very tense scenes here, but really for me, it was about the coming of age story that really hit home for me. So I gave 28 years later 3.5 stars out of 5, and it's in theaters this weekend.
Okay, and we're going to go a lot lighter now. Elio, it's cute. It's
Elio.
lovely.
Yeah, it is. This is an animated film from Pixar, and it's about a young boy, again, whose parents have passed away, and he's living with a relative, and he doesn't feel that she wants him around, so he looks to the stars. And he thinks, I wonder if there's somewhere up there that I belong, because I don't feel like I belong here. And then through some trickery, he ends up in outer space on a planet where they think he's an ambassador from Earth who has come to solve all their problems. And he has to learn about life and responsibility and all sorts of other things here. I think that kids will really love a lot of the characters here, especially the outer space characters. They're a whole lot of fun. But there is sort of a deeper message here. This doesn't have the same kind of gut punch as earlier Pixar films like Up and WALL-E had, but still there is a very big emotional component here that I think is good for the whole family. So I gave Elio, now playing in theaters, 3.5 stars out of 5.
All right, and our last review is about a mechanical shark in the summer.
Yeah, no one's ever heard of this
terrible. What would happen with this 50 years ago? I actually saw it in the theaters. I don't know how I got in. I was like 7, but I saw it at the theaters.
Yeah, 50 years ago today, Jaws was released, June 20th. And this is a film that is responsible for a whole lot of things. There's a lot of misconceptions about sharks that directly stem from this film. But also, it is regarded as the first modern blockbuster. It set the template for the way that summer movies were released. Before Jaws, the summer was kind of considered to be a downtime for theaters. People were going to go to their cottages. They were going to sit in the sunlight. They weren't going to sit in a dark room and watch a movie about sharks. Well, that changed when it became the highest grossing film to date, and really started not only a franchise for Jaws. There's a whole lot of them that came after this one. None of them are nearly as good as the first one, but it's a movie that changed the movie business, and it's been 50 years.
And there's so many backstories to it. Robert Shaw and that Indianapolis scene. I can revisit this movie over and over.
It's if you have a chance to see this on the big screen, if it's playing for an anniversary screening, and I know lots of theaters are doing that, go see it as big and as loud as you can. It really is so effective. It was shot for the big scene. That scene that we're seeing right now is incredible.
Okay.
When you're seeing it in a theater.
I got to cut you off there. We're almost out of time, but I know I could talk about this forever. Richard, thank you as always, sir. Have a great weekend.
You too, Roger. Thank you.
Richard Crouse is our film critic.